That should be it. I hope. Is that it? Let me refresh. I don't even know if that's it. I've got to fully refresh YouTube on my phone. I'm so confused. What has just happened? Does it went live? I'm so baffled. YouTube makes no sense. Oh, it is live. It has went live. Beautiful. What's the audio saying? Oh yeah, there we go. Audio's calm as well. That is perfect. That is perfection. That is perfection. Now just a few things I've got to do. Actually, I'll do it on my phone. That's so much easier to do on my phone, actually, now that I think about it. Now that I use critical thinking skills. Yeah, now that I use critical thinking skills. Let's just copy the link for that. City versus Monaco. Boom, that should work. Is that? Let me make sure that is the correct link before I even click off of it. Yeah, that's perfect. That's belting. That is absolutely belt. Mate, my chair is so finished. I need a new chair really bad. Just gotta do one more thing, and then I can actually get into it. I think it's on here. Is it on here? Boom, get that one in there. There we go, get that one in there. Let's do that. I think that is it. I think that is all I need to do. I think. Oh no, there is one more. And then put it on TikTok as well. Man, this is so irritating. Do that. Do that. There we go, boom. There we go. So I can actually stop. But this chair is going to be the death of me. I can already tell you right now, this chair is going to be the death of me. But first of all, let's get into the lineup, right? Let me just bring the lineup up, right? Let me just get it back up. Boom, I had it somewhere. I had it saved somewhere, and then I've just lost it, which is kind of rough. Right, so if we're gonna go through the City lineup of today, is basically the same lineup that we've been playing recently, right? But obviously since Kusanov's got injured, and we had that very sort of specific lineup that Pep was playing because it was working very well. But obviously, Kusanov got injured in the first half at the Emirates. Obviously, Nunes then got subbed on for him. Nunes played and scored against Burnley on the weekend, and sort of set up the second own goal for Burnley. He's now not in the squad. It looks like Pep's really wanting to go and keep a clean sheet today. Obviously, last season our record in the Champions League was not very good at all. You look at some of the games we played. Sporting, Feyenoord was a bad one. Juventus, PSG, a lot of bad Champions League games, which made us go on into the knockout phase, which made us then lose in the knockout phase to Real Madrid in like the qualification round for the latter stages. So you've got John Stones at right back. You've obviously then still got Diaz and Vardio as your centre backs, and Nico O'Reilly at left back. And I think if it was me personally, I would have put Stones in ahead of Diaz, and I would have played Nunes, because I just don't think Diaz has been at his best as of late. I think obviously Diaz is not a fastest defender, and I think he keeps getting caught out of position very easily. When I look at a lot of mistakes that are leading towards goals, I look at Brighton's second goal. I even look at his marking for Martinelli for Arsenal's equaliser, and I look at it deflecting off of him for Burnley's goal. I think he's at the scene of the crime of a lot of what's going wrong, and whether it is directly his fault or he's just in the vicinity of it going wrong, it is up for you to decide. But I think he could definitely do with some time on the bench, and it would obviously be good to get Stones and or Ake some minutes as well. So I would have probably preferred to have Nunes at right back and Stones at centre back. But other than that, the defence is completely fine. The main other talking point and the main difference, again, from the squad that played against Burnley, is Rodri is not just in the squad, he is in the starting 11. Rodri starts at 6. Obviously, he was left out the squad against Burnley. There was a lot of concern whether he was out injured or not, but luckily it just turned out to be a muscle injury. Well, not a muscle injury, but he was feeling pain in his knee, obviously, as of a consequence of his ACL injury last season. He's still recovering from that, because obviously the road to recovery doesn't just end when he's back playing. Obviously, there's still a few teething problems after that that he's still trying to iron out. And it was very good to see Nico play. I thought he played quite well. And he's really starting to settle in to the City team, as is obviously Kusanov when he's fit as well. Obviously, you got Bernardo Silva back in the squad for Savinho. Savinho is really frustrating. Really frustrating. And I'm more frustrating. I found Savinho as a whole more frustrating than Doku ever was, really. I think because I know there's a really good player in there with Savinho, but he's just trying too hard on occasions, and it can be a painful watching him. So Bernardo Silva's back in, obviously Vinder's ever present, and then that electric front three: Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku, and Erling Haaland up top. Obviously, I think one of them, if not multiple of them, are going to get a goal tonight. Obviously, on the bench you've got Trafford, Bettinelli, Ake, Kovacic, Nico Gonzalez, Savinho, Nunes, Bob, Muscaka, and Rico Lewis. Again, it is kind of what's to be expected. Obviously, we don't have Ait Nouri back in the squad yet. We don't have Ryan Cherki back in the squad yet. I think Cherki is probably going to be fit, hopefully, for Brentford to get a few minutes. But if not, he should be back after the international break, and I doubt he will go out on international duty with France in the international break. But obviously, only time will tell on that front. But it's a strong starting 11, and obviously Monaco have good players. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Monaco don't have good players. You go and look at the Monaco lineup. You have, there's a lot of former Premier League players in there, whether they were good Premier League players or not. Their back line though is very interesting. They're playing a 3, and it's Chiara. I think that's how you say it. The German centre-back that used to play for West Ham. I don't think he's all that great. Obviously, you've got Eric Dyer, their captain, in the middle, who's a serviceable player, don't get me wrong, but he's not an elite centre-back. And then you've got Mohamed Salisu, who obviously
used to play for Southampton. He was a decent centre back for them. Champions League quality, I'm not too sure. Obviously, you move further up the field, you've got players like Balogun, who obviously came from Arsenal, and Ansu Fati, who's from on loan from Barcelona, and obviously spent some time with Brighton in the Premier League. You look at the bench as well. Obviously, you got Minamino on the bench, and that's really it, really for sort of former Premier League players, I think. But when I look at their squad, that back line, that back three is very interesting, because a back three is interesting nonetheless. You know, I'm always very fascinated by the back three, and how people sort of set up with it, and the players they use in a back three. Obviously, a back three can be very, very effective, as seen with Oliver Glasner at the moment at Palace, and obviously Conte when he came and won the league with Chelsea. Obviously, there was a few teething problems at the start of the season playing the back three, but then obviously you can see that the back three can go horribly wrong. Let's look at Ruben Amorim right now at Manchester United. His system and his players that are playing said system are doing him no favors at all, and him being stubborn is just the icing on the cake of that monstrosity that is going on at Old Trafford at the moment. But like, long may that continue, if I'm honest. Long may that continue. But yeah, no, I don't think, when I look at their three centre-backs, I don't think any of them are elite centre-backs or very good centre-backs. And I think they're definitely have a mistake in them, combined anyway. And I think Haaland could definitely cause them a lot of issues. Obviously, there are a lot of players in that squad that I am unfamiliar with or have a very vague knowledge of. But given the squad that we've put out, obviously, as you can see on screen here, with obviously, as I've ran through, but I'll run through again, Donnarumma. Oh, 1 moment, 2 seconds. Why is 1 moment? We've got an error. We have an error in the thing. It hasn't saved. It's got 1 moment, 2 seconds. I'm glad I just spotted that. Give me 2 seconds. That is not good. It's not that one. I want to say it's this one. I don't like that's not in there. I don't like that that's in there. 2 seconds. I think it's in this one. Press this one, and I think it's this one. It will be this one here. Yeah. Did that not save when I? Oh, there we go. Okay. Now that should have updated. Please tell me that updated. Let me go back. Let me get that back up on screen. Did that update? That did update. We've got John Stones in there now, which is great. Which means I can always update it when people get subbed on. I didn't know that. I didn't know I could like update that live and it instantly sort of update like that. I thought I'd have to sort of reset it, but that's that's good to know. Now we can be kind of grateful for that slight mistake there in the overlay, because that's taught me something new. But yeah, I think we could definitely cause them problems. Their back three problems, especially with the players, the three attacking players we've got on the pitch and the form they've been in recently. If you didn't see my TikTok, what is it? Previewing this tie or the YouTube show, wherever you would have watched it, yeah. I predicted a 3-0 win, and I said that I think all three of the front three are going to score. Now that I kind of look at that, I think Haaland will probably score, yes. I think we'll get a Doku assist. But I actually think we might have a goal in this game for either Vinders or Bernardo, or one of the guys at the back. But it would be very, very nice. Personally, if there's one player that I want to score in this game, is Rodri. I think he deserves a goal, especially after the time he spent now injured. Obviously, he never got to score a goal as a Ballon d'Or winner, which was kind of sad. Obviously, his times come to an end. We've got, obviously, Ousmane Dembele is the current Ballon d'Or holder now. But yeah, we're approaching kickoff. We've got 50 minutes before kickoff. And we haven't played Monaco. We haven't played Monaco in a few years, really. I remember last time we played Monaco, right? I vividly remember this. Obviously, we played against that Monaco super team, right? We played against that Monaco super team in 2016, I want to say it was. I think it was 2016. Had to have been 2016 because it was Pep's first season, actually. And I remember I'm looking at the lineup for this game and I'm like, nah, we're going to win this game. they're for some reason they're playing a 90. Well, he wasn't even 90 at the time. What, he was 18, 17, 18. And I was like, they're playing some 18-year-old kid against Pep Guardiola. What are they thinking? Obviously, that 18-year-old kid, for all of you out there that are unaware, that 18-year-old kid was Kylian Mbappe Lotin, who went on to score that game. And went on to do a lot after that. Not as much as Erling Haaland, other than, the World Cup. He does have a World Cup, but, his club career has not been as good as Erling Haaland since that moment. But, he's went on to do a lot. And obviously in that Monaco super team, you had Bernardo Silva. You also had another player that we signed that we're not really going to speak on right now. There were some good players in that team. You look at Falcao, who's someone I always rated highly, and I think, he's very unlucky with his time in the Premier League, especially at Manchester United. I don't think he was as bad at Chelsea. But definitely Manchester United, it wasn't too great for him. But obviously it was good to see him be able to bounce back for Monaco. And obviously go on to win the league title there and kind of shock PSG and kind of shock the whole of French football, really. Obviously, other than Mbappe and Bernardo Silva, I can't think of anybody in that team that went on to sort of light the world of football on fire after that. I'm actually going to quickly check that team, actually. Because I know quite a few of the players. Obviously, you've got, like, Sidibe in there and stuff. I'm going to get that team up now, and I'm actually going to look at some of the players and see sort of where they are at. Where they're at now and sort of what they went on to. Obviously, they had... my bad. They had Fabinho in there as well. So, obviously, they had Subasic in goal. Fabinho... obviously he went on to win the Premier League. Did he win? Yeah, he did win the Premier League at Liverpool. Yeah, he did win the Premier League at Liverpool. Obviously, João Moutinho, he came over and spent some time in the Premier League at Wolves. Obviously, you got Bernardo Silva. You got Bakayoko, who came and absolutely flopped at Chelsea. You've got Thomas Lemar, who went to Atletico and didn't really have much of an impact. Obviously, there was Sidibe, as I just mentioned, who obviously spent time at Everton. There's a few players. There's a few players in here. Obviously you had Camille Glick at centre back. There's a few players in here that have went on and had some sort of relevance since this win. Obviously this league title win, but other, a lot of them didn't really sort of like build upon sort of the hype that they had. Obviously Lamar was a big one. He was linked to Arsenal for ages. Obviously was Lamar. Obviously everyone thought Bakayoko, because it was going to be Bakayoko and Kante, and people thought Chelsea were going to absolutely storm European football, but it just wasn't to be, was it, for him in the Premier League, obviously. But Fabinho, Bernardo Silva, obviously went on to do great things in the Premier League. Mbappe won the World Cup. Obviously, he's now at Real Madrid, won multiple league titles with PSG. Runner-up in the World Cup as well, scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final, there are players that have done some stuff, but, it's a bit like... It kind of is a bit like Leicester, actually, when you think about it, because other than Mahrez, Vardy and Kante, you don't really look at that team and think they did a lot outside of that. Obviously, probably Schmeichel is a shout, but obviously a lot of what he went on to do was still at Leicester, obviously winning the FA Cup with them as well. And on his day, Kasper Schmeichel was a very, very good goalkeeper, very frustrating goalkeeper to play against. I remember when Kompany scored that, obviously that vital long shot, right, against Leicester in 2018-19. I remember Schmeichel was just saving everything that game, and I actually thought we weren't going to score. I thought the game was going to end 0-0 because Schmeichel was just saving everything, and it took that literal... This chair, man. It took that little moment of magic from Kompany to really, give us the league and win us the title, because Schmeichel was just playing an absolute blinder of a game. But yeah, I go back and look at that team. Obviously, Drinkwater went to Chelsea. He didn't do anything at Chelsea. And other than that, really, a lot of the players in that team were either bang average or coming to the end of their career. You had Robert Huth, Wes Morgan, Christian Fuchs. Who else was in there? Obviously the big three that I mentioned. You got Drinkwater. You had Nathan Dyer, who was on loan. Ogazaki. The Argentinian. I think he's Argentinian. The striker. I can't remember his name. You know. But none of them, again, really, other than the big three that I mentioned, and obviously Schmeichel as well, sort of remained really that relevant after that title win. But, you know, they'll go down in history anyway, because that was a legendary title win and that. And I just don't think it will ever be topped. Like, nothing will ever top that. Like, even, like, from a non-biased perspective, I would rank Leicester winning the title over Aguero's goal in 2012, because, like, the odds of Aguero's goal happening and City winning the league title the way they did were second to none. Like, no one expected it to happen like that. But, you know, City challenging for trophies after obviously the FA Cup win, it was kind of like people felt it coming. City winning the title, right? But Leicester, on the other hand, yeah, although Aguero's goal was a miracle, yeah, and God bless him every day, Leicester just came out of nowhere, and no one's going to do that again. No one's going to do that again. It's kind of like the way I see the Invincibles as well. Like, the thing with the Invincibles is, yeah, I just don't think you could go invincible in this modern era of the Premier League and win the league. I just don't think you could. Because you won't win every game. The only way you go invincible is if you avoid losing. If you set out to win every single game, you will not go invincible. But if you set out to not to lose every single game, then you can go invincible. So it would mean to go invincible, you've got to rack up a lot of draws, which that Arsenal team did, yeah? But it got them over the line. But now if you take, and this is not me discrediting them by any means, it's just me saying that their achievement and the way they did it will not be replicated again, and it will be a one of one. Because if you look at even football from 2017-18 up to 19-20, yeah, and that run that City and Liverpool were on with getting mad points totals, 100 points, 98 points and 97 points, and then 99 points the next season. And even still, the levels of the teams that are in the league now. So in that era where the big six probably weren't as good as they should be, and a lot of the mid-table teams were kind of meh. So it was easier to rack up that amount of points, especially with the players that Pep and Klopp had at their disposals, right? But now if you look at the Premier League now, where the winners are getting slightly less points totals, right? But the league is competitive as a whole, especially this league now, where the three newly promoted teams like are actually getting points and actually putting up fights against people. There is no easy, bar West Ham, there is no easy game in this Premier League. You could lose and you could drop points at any game in the Premier League right now. There is not a single game heading into that match week in the Premier League for last season, the season before, this season, where I think, yes, this is a guaranteed win. This is easy. The Premier League is so competitive right now. Whether people want to admit that or not, because obviously City won the league 4 years in a row, and then Liverpool absolutely stormed to the title last season. The Premier League is extremely competitive right now. And that is why you have Spurs winning the Europa League. You have Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup. You have Newcastle winning the Carabao Cup. It's because teams can compete now. These English teams can compete now, and it's not just going to be United. Even in their poor seasons, United winning domestic trophies, because it was a given that it was going to be a top 6 team winning the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. It's not just going to be Arsenal winning the FA Cup, City, Chelsea, Liverpool winning the league. Like, there's competition. It's not just going to be the same teams in Europe anymore. Yes, you're going to have Liverpool. Yes, you're going to have Arsenal. Yes, you're going to have City in the Champions League, yeah. But, you know, There are teams that can drop out of that, and you've seen that. Well, even Liverpool dropped out of the Champions League, 2 seasons ago, and were playing in Europa League. Chelsea Conference League. Manchester United Europa League. Spurs Europa League. And then who have you got in Champions League? Aston Villa. You've got Newcastle. You had Forest. You've got Forest in Europa League right now. You've got Palace in Conference League. Like, you know, and it's because the Premier League is in a very, very healthy state at the moment. But with all that waffling out the way, with all that absolute tangent that I just went on out the way, yeah, we are now 5 minutes away from kickoff and the teams are coming out onto the pitch. Make sure I've got everything under control. Make sure I've got everything like working before I go on to you know, like sit and watch this game. I make sure everything's, you know. I'll make sure everything's Gucci. Boom. There's Haaland. Oh, let me get the controls up for my my scoreboard, and I need to make sure the scoreboard's working because you know, I'm kind of glad I got all this set up now, because the way I used to do it, like when I did my first 2 watch-alongs, yeah, the way I had it set up was so long. And like getting it to all work in unison was such a headache. But yeah, is that working? No. Oh shit. 2 secs. Right, I gotta quickly do this before I what is it? Before it kicks off. So if I do it on here, does it work? No, why is it bugging out? Why is it bugging out like that? Right, okay, cool. 2 secs. Let me get rid of that. Right, I've actually got to be super quick here. I've got to be super quick. Oh, that wasn't meant to happen. Please tell me that didn't. No, this is dark. This is dark. Nah. Boom. Boom, this is dark. Okay. Okay, is that working? If I get that up, is that working? Please tell me that's working. Okay, cool. But it's working on the computer, but is it working on my phone? Yeah, okay, cool. Crisis averted. Crisis has been averted. The crisis has been averted, ladies and gents. That could have got dark really quickly. Like, that could have been looking how it looks out my window right now. That could have been dark. That could have been very, very dark. But we're now just a minute from the designated kickoff time, but they're still going through the lineup, so we'll probably kick off 2 minutes late, but boom. 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 Let's get it up. Match timer. There we are. Let's get it ready for kickoff for Manchester City's second game of the Champions League this season. Already off to 3 points after the win at the Etihad against Napoli, which I was live for. We're back underway in the Champions League here, away to Monaco. And, you know, nothing less than 3 points, lad. Especially with the form we've been in recently, nothing less than 3 points here. We got to get back to the City of old. The score, yeah, the score things there, yeah, okay. The stream's looking calm. The stream's looking calm. Actually looks like Bernardo Silva is going to be playing on the right and Phil Foden in the middle if this TNT graphic is to be believed here, which is very interesting, especially with Stones at right back, because that means there's going to be kind of the issue that I was really kind of hyping and honing in on against Napoli, where a lot of the time I was seeing Bernardo Silva and Foden both occupying like a central position, and then Kusanov was having to overlap, but he doesn't really have the minerals to be up there putting in crosses. So does that mean that John Stones is going to be up and down the pitch? Because I don't know if his hamstrings can take that. Like, I know he's got footballing ability-wise. John Stones can get up and down the pitch. We've seen it time and time again, whether that be at right back, whether that be in midfield. But do his hamstrings have what it takes to play that sort of role today? That's my only worry. Because I do not want to see John Stones getting injured again. But we are underway here. Monaco get us underway in the Champions League. And, you know, keep it simple, lads. Keep it simple. Not too simple, though. Like, I don't want to see a boring game, because the Napoli game kind of filtered out for a bit. But that was obviously to be expected. They were down to 10 men, and it was Conte ball nonetheless. But, you know, I kind of want a bit of an exciting game today. But, like, that doesn't mean that we've got to give Monaco chances and give them a chance to win this game. I just want us to be playing good, exciting football and scoring goals. Really. We got Diaz on the ball now. He goes square to Vardio, who finds Stones. Stones back to Diaz. He gets out to Vinders. And he's back to Stones. Stones goes back to Diaz. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that today. I think Diaz is definitely going to have the most touches of the ball today. As long as he's not camping at the edge of their box, though, I'm calm with that. We got O'Reilly now. It's Vardio. He then plays it inside to Foden, who finds Rodri, who's now out to Doku. Doku gets his first touch of the ball, and he's instantly trying to run at the defence, and he wins a free kick, literally just a minute into the game, like, a minute and 20 seconds into this game. Doku's already won his first free kick, because he's looking to play direct. He's looking to get at the defenders, and they're not really wanting to sort of take any chances. And which led to them giving away an early set piece in a very dangerous position, crossing wise, if Foden can get his delivery right here. I'm not really expecting too much, mostly because Foden's set piece deliveries have not been great as of recent. But, you know, this is the perfect time for him to prove me wrong, standing over this free kick just a minute into this, just 2 minutes into this game rather. You got Foden with the delivery. He whips it in, and yeah, it's out for a throw-in. It misses everybody in the City box. Vanderson can head it clear for Monaco, but it can only, you know, he avoids putting it out for a corner, and it's out for a throw-in on the right side for John Stones to come out and take. He gets it back to Diaz. I'm actually going to move my mic a little bit just so I can see, like, yeah, there we go. Diaz back to Donnarumma. Donnarumma can take a touch. He's not really being pressed here by the Monaco front line. He hits one out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly plays a bit of a hospital pass to Vardio, but he attempts to get it under control and find Stones or Diaz, and ends up putting out for a free kick. A throw-in on the left-hand side for Monaco. Obviously, it was a poor pass from O'Reilly to put Vardio under pressure, but he had the space to kind of take a touch and play a more composed pass, but it's fine nonetheless. Monaco went backwards with it, and their goalkeeper now finds himself with the ball, and he launches it long, only to be won by Stones, but Monaco do get the second ball, but their passer is intercepted, and it's now John Stones on the ball at the back. He's probably going to go back to Donnarumma. No, he looks to go forward. He's going to find Diaz. It is John Stones to Diaz once again. Diaz goes for a switch ball out to Doku. But he overhits it, and it goes out for a Monaco throw and out on City's left side. And I don't really know what I make of that. I've never been one person that kind of thinks Diaz has excellent ball playing ability. When I think of ball playing centre backs that have played for City in the last few years, I think Laporte and I think John Stones. I don't really put Ruben Dias into that category, and he's just sort of proved to me why I'm right to not put him in that category, because it was an audacious pass, and if it comes off, obviously it opens a lot of space for us and sort of expands the pitch. But as it stands, it's now just Monaco coming forward with Diatta. He cuts inside. Still Monaco. Vanderson goes to get a cross in. It's headed by John Stones out on the right side out to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva passes back to Stones. Then Stones finds Rodri inside the City box. Rodri to Foden, plays a 1-2. It's now Vardio. Vardio to Rodri. Rodri out wide to John Stones. He's got Bernardo Silva ahead of him. He is going to cut back. Takes his time on the ball now to Rodri. No, to Diaz rather. Now it's Rodri. Now it's back to Diaz. Now it's O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Rodri. Rodri to Stones. Stones back to Diaz. It's Rodri. Now it's O'Reilly with a bit of space to run into. Tries to feed Haaland. Ends up hitting it straight at Salisu. But Vardio recovers the ball and gets it out. Sees it out for a City throw-in. Now it's Foden. Joining the City back line. Passes it to Diaz. Diaz back to Foden. Foden to Diaz. Now it's Stones. Now it's Bernardo Silva. Now it's Stones. Now it's Rodri. Now Foden. Foden finds Doku, who's got a lot of space inside, and he's got O'Reilly on the overlap. He goes to cut inside. And then he tries to play a chipped ball into the box for Vinders. Vinders tries to cut it back for Bernardo Silva, but Monaco get enough men back to clear it and play it back to safety to their goalkeeper. But that was an excellent work there from Doku. It was an excellent pass. And I tell you what, if Vinders was able to bring that one down and get a better pass off, that could have been 1-0 there. But once again, exceptional from Doku in these inside pockets, and when he comes central, he's just as good on the ball, maybe even not better than he is when he picks up the ball out wide. Now it's Vardio. He now finds Doku, who is beaten to the ball, but O'Reilly wins it back, only temporarily though, and Monaco can still try to bring this ball forward. It's Vanderson. He's got the beating of Vardio and O'Reilly, but O'Reilly was able to recover and block the cross, and it's now out for Monaco's first corner of the match. And I think it's the first corner of the match altogether, and I'm hoping Donnarumma can just punch this one clear, no drama, but, you know, anything can happen here, especially when it's City. City away in the Champions League, crazy things can happen. I've seen crazy stuff happen when City have played away games in the Champions League. But hopefully it's a nice, comfortable one for Donnarumma to claim. Corner comes in. Headed away by Diaz. Doku looks to bring it down, but it falls over his head. And Vanderson puts a long ball out for a Manchester City throw-in. 7 minutes into this game, there's been no real clear-cut chances, and City are kind of starting to sort of struggle a little bit to get into this game, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Rodri, under pressure, finds Donnarumma. Donnarumma's now under pressure, plays a very calm pass out to Stones. Stones can now try to bring this one out for City. He finds Vinders. Vinders then back inside to Stones. Stones back to Vinders. Now it's Vinders. Stones. Bernardo Silva. Vardio. Tell you what though, we're playing very patient. We're playing a little too patient. Like, nobody's kind of looked up to play a killer pass other than Doku when he tried to find Vinders in behind. Bernardo Silva tries to play a chipped ball in behind for Foden, but Eric Dyer beats him to it. Nah, Eric Dyer in the Champions League in 2025 is crazy work, man. Crazy, crazy work. But you got Vardio. Vardio to O'Reilly. O'Reilly takes a decent touch. He's got Foden inside. Foden on the hat. Oh, he takes the turn well to begin with. Then he kind of just loses his footing over the ball and gives the defender time to recover and retrieve the ball off of him. But it's fine, though, because Ansu Fati's basically just done the same thing when being challenged by Ruben Dias. But now it's Weinders. Weinders to Bernardo Silva. Weinders' first touch so far, other than for that chip ball that came into him from Doku, which was quite difficult to control, don't get me wrong, has been a lot better than it has been these last few games. Stones. Rodri back to Stones. Vardio. Now it's Doku. It's out for a City throw-in, I think. Nope. By the look on Doku's face, it's a Monaco throw-in. Yeah, it's a Monaco throw-in. I could have swore that came off, that Van der Sar put that one straight out. But if the ref thinks that's a Monaco throw-in, it's a Monaco throw-in. And I'm not one to argue with the referee. Bernardo Silva challenging in the middle. It's Eric Dyer who flicks one over. Never mind, it's been given as a Monaco free kick in the middle of the pitch. The sound of this chair is actually really irritating me, and I can imagine it's a very irritating sound to hear on the live stream as well. I've just looked back up and Foden's got the ball. He finds it inside to Weinders. Weinders takes a shot. Oh man, he took a touch, armed his body up to shoot, and then just hit a Carl Walker-esque shot over the bar. But it's a good run from Foden, good pass from Foden. But yeah, the shot left a lot, and I mean a lot, to be desired there from the shot from Tijani Reinders. Let me quickly get the stream up. I want to see what the visuals actually look like, because now I got my light working again. Does it look a lot better? Yeah, it looks a lot better than it did last week when I had to use my main light because my lamp wasn't working. Got another Monaco free kick now. As long as this doesn't go the way that Liverpool Galatasaray went yesterday, because I can imagine it was jarring for the Liverpool fans. I was loving it personally, but some of the foul baiting and the free kicks Galatasaray were getting yesterday were a tad questionable, and I'm kind of hoping we don't get dragged into a similar game today. That being said, our ball has been hit long for Diatta to run, but it goes out for a City throw-in, and that should be taken by John Stones. And I kind of just want to regain a bit of possession here. No, Rodri. I did kind of stop mid-sentence there because I thought Stones threw it straight to a Monaco player in the box. But now we've got Doku, once again being able to run at the defence. Once again beats his man. Plays a pass out to Bernardo Silva, who finds himself on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. He crosses it in. Cleared by Eric Dyer. Rodri up to try win the header. Doesn't. It's brought down by Foden. Now it's Diaz. Foden. Rodri. Foden. Foden really trying to find space in these pockets to turn and get a pass off the wrong goal. Now we've got Vardio, Rodri. Monaco have everybody behind the ball, but Rodri finds O'Reilly, who is dispossessed. But he wins the ball straight back, but it only goes as far as Fati. And here come Monaco. But O'Reilly wins the ball back, and I think he's put that one out for a Monaco throw-in, but I'm not too sure. That looked like a Monaco throw-in. Yeah, it is a Monaco throw-in, I thought. But after that one earlier where Doku put it out, and I thought it was a City throw-in, I wasn't too sure. Wasn't going to commit to the decision nonetheless. But Monaco looking to sort of build up from the back. But I can very much tell that they're trying to use the pace of Diatta and Ansu Fati to hit us on the break, really. And that's why when they're actually in possession and have like sustained possession, they're really just passing around the back and waiting for us to overcommit on the press so they can hit one ball in behind for those two to chase. And that's fair enough. When you've got players that have that that sheer electric pace and are able to just run in behind with a minute's notice and chase long balls like that, when one defender steps out, you're going to play to their strengths, aren't you? Especially when you're playing as a team that are going to come here and look to dominate possession and look to commit men forward. Ooh, Rodri just did some crazy stuff there on the halfway line, but he was able to keep the ball. Now it's O'Reilly out to Doku, back to O'Reilly. Riley plays one into Rodri. Rodri to Diaz. Diaz on the ball once again. He tries to drive forward. He finds Foden, who gets it back to Rodri. Rodri looks up, finds Stones, who's surrounded by Vinders and Bernardo Silva. Eventually makes his way out to Bernardo Silva, but it's back to Stones. You'll never guess who's on the ball now. It is Ruben Diaz. Is that you saying that Martinelli... I'm going to guess that's you saying that Martinelli scored. Speaking of Martinelli scoring, I've just looked up and Haaland scored. It is 1-0. I was looking at chat and I've now just looked back and Haaland scored. So that is 1-0 City. And obviously, it was going to be... If anyone was going to score the opening goal for City, it was going to be Erling Haaland. But I did not see that goal. So I'm actually just going to have to quickly look at that one now. It starts from a brilliant chipped over the top ball from Vardio. He sees Haaland wanting to make that run. He sees the gap. It's an absolutely perfectly weighted pass. And the chip from Haaland, first time, is not easy. It is not easy, but he's able to get it over the keeper. You know, first touch. Because, you know, when you're sticking your leg out to chip the keeper like that, it is very, very easy to not be able to keep that one under the bar. But he does. He gets it over the keeper, under the bar. Brilliant, brilliant pass from Vardio to play Haaland in. That is an exceptional pass. And that's why I think that he is our most important player, if I'm honest. That's why I think he is our best player, Josko Vardio. When I'm being 100% honest, he is our best player. 100% our best player. Obviously, the numbers will tell you it's Haaland because of all the goals he scores. And Monaco are now in, but never mind, it is sniffed out by O'Reilly. They're panning to Pogba up in the stands. Is he still not fit to play? Or is, like what's going on with that one? Because I thought when he signed, he was going to instantly play. But I haven't seen him play yet. So if anyone's able to give me the updates on what's going on with Pogba there. It was the Monaco corner. It was punched clear by Donnarumma. You got Doku chasing. Just trying to sort all of this stream stuff up, because for some reason the chat's not popping up on the side like I want it to, which I don't really get why. But we got Monaco. Oof. Donnarumma comes out to try, came across, gets caught in no man's land, and if Ansu Fati gets a touch on that, that is a huge problem. But luckily it goes past him. But Monaco do still have possession here, and City do have a lead to defend. What is going on with the chat? Why is that just like not working? I'm so confused. I keep taking my eye off the game to try fit. You know, I'm just gonna leave it. You got Monaco running forward now. They've really sort of sprung to life after going 1-0 down, and it's to be expected, you know. But it's not really what I want to see, especially because they've now just scored. That is 1-1, and that's an excellent finish from Tete. That is an exquisite strike from the midfielder, and that is like I can't fault Donnarumma for that. If I'm being totally honest, I can't fault the keeper for that one. Let me update that one there. Yeah. So that's 1-1. So the clean sheet is not being kept. That is an excellent strike. Excellent strike. Before they show the replay, no, never mind. I'm trying to fix this chat, but it's not working. So yeah, Diatta plays one out to he takes one touch and he just curls it into the near post top corner. It's a beautiful finish, and yeah, now Donnarumma's not saving that, unfortunately. I don't think any keeper's saving that. Yeah, that's a beautiful goal. That's a beautiful goal. And unfortunately, we're back level, and the hard work that Vardiol and Haaland put in to score that goal is instantly undone because Monaco find themselves level already. You know what? I'm gonna try one more time with the chat, and if it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna leave it in it. Yeah, it's not working, so I'll just leave that. Unless it wants to work later, but, you know. So, yeah, there we are, back level. And how are we going to respond to that? Because, you know, as of recently in the last season, we have not responded well to conceding equalizers and conceding full stop. We do have a Monaco player on the ground now, but they're on the break, so they're not going to kick the ball out. It is going to be Diaz that puts it out for a throw-in after clearing it from our own box. And very, very interested to see what happens here. Because obviously on the weekend, we did concede an equaliser through Anthony. Jaden Anthony, and obviously we went on to win that game, obviously due to some misfortune from a few Burnley players. But obviously last season, if we were conceding equalisers or if we were going behind, we were not responding to conceding goals well, and we were just then going and conceding more and making more and more mistakes, a bit like we did against Spurs and Brighton. But hopefully we can just get back ahead, maybe get a 2-goal lead and keep things nice, comfortable and composed. While there is a break in play, I know I just said I wasn't gonna mess with it, but I am gonna try to get the chat back up on screen. I don't really know why it's decided it doesn't wanna work. Is it because, like, I don't know what's going on there? Like, they're all fine, but I'm not too sure. That's a bit spooky, that. I'm gonna try it one more time. Text template, chat, view account. I think it is. Background, yeah, that's cool. Yes. Boom. And then do I have to, like, because usually it's just automatic. Every other time oh, that's a bit too big. Every other time I've done this has been automatic, but this time it's just decided it doesn't want to do it for me. So do I actually have to go into the properties? Try settings and features. So that is Vanderson coming off after picking up his injury there. Yeah, it's not looking good for him. That one did look like it hurt, and we're back underway here. Monaco have the ball out wide. They've crossed it in. It's went back stick. It is claimed by Donnarumma. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the chat there, but he gets it out quickly to Foden. He's got Doku ahead of him, but he's tried to turn back. He still does have the ball, but you know, it wasn't convincing play. We've still got it. It's Vardy now out to Diaz. Diaz to Stones. Stones to Rodri. Stones to Diaz even, and then to Rodri. Back to Diaz, now Stones again. Now Bernardo Silva. Tell you what, this Monaco shape is something else. The way they're sitting it's going to be difficult to break down. It is going to be very, very difficult to break down. But, you know, we've done it once and we can do it again, and it was definitely from a lapse of a judgment from two of the centre-backs. But it's O'Reilly now on the ball. He finds Rodri. Rodri goes to play a chipped ball out wide to Bernardo Silva. Can Bernardo bring it down? Of course he can. He tries to make his way into the box. Can't find any room, so gets it to Stones. Stones turns and tries to find Foden, but he is dispossessed. And now Monaco can come forward. No, they can't. It's been put out for a City throw-in down the right-hand side. Oh. That's annoying. Properties. Monaco are in behind here. It is Diaz against... Never mind. No, Donnarumma's played a short pass out, but he is swept up kind of by Vardiol, because Monaco still have the ball here, and we are not looking comfortable defensively. But this time Donnarumma comes and picks up the cross. But yeah, we are not looking good. Balogun and Fati and Diatta, they're causing us issues. They are very much all causing us issues. right now, and we're not dealing with them well, and it's making me worried that we might actually lose this game, because it's looking like City of last season, where we're just making stupid, silly mistakes at the back that we don't need to be making. Instead of just focusing on keeping the ball going forward and trying to get another goal here. I still just want to know why this chat's not working. Let me just type something in chat, right, and see if it comes up. Bernardo Silva runs onto it, hits it straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Let me just put that in the chat. Does that come up? No. Okay. So it just isn't working. That's cool. And that is out for a City throw-in. That's actually annoying. I want to know why that's not worked. That's really frustrating. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. I'll sort that out at halftime. I'll actually have to look at it at halftime, because I keep taking my eye off the game and then something's always happening. We got Vardy all on the ball. Now it's Diaz. Foden. That's Vardio. Vardio to Rodri. Rodri's pass back to Vardio is intercepted, but there's no one there to pick it up from Monaco, and Vardio is going to go back and retrieve it. This is, again, not looking good. It's not looking convincing in the slightest for City here. Now it's Vinders. Vinders out to Bernardo Silva, who's got Stones inside. It does find Stones, plays a 1-2. Now it's back to Bernardo. Tries to cut inside, finds Rodri. 25 minutes gone, still City 1, Monaco 1. Doku loses the ball. Yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good. It is not good at all. Diatta runs at O'Reilly. O'Reilly's keeping him busy, but he still does have the ball. But he's won it back now, O'Reilly. But they're trapped in the corner here, City. Now it's Doku. Doku out to Stones. Stones can now, he's got grass to run into. He does have options in front of him. He's got Bernardo Silva and Vinders. Foden on the far side. He finds Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva back to Stones. Stones to Rodri. Rodri to Foden. Foden can turn. He gets it to Doku. Now it's back to Rodri. Now back to Diaz. O'Reilly on the ball here. Now to Vardio. Vardio to Diaz. Now it's Vinders. Vinders can turn. He plays it inside to Foden, who gets it to Stones, who tries to poke it across to Haaland, but just doesn't get the power on it. Now it's O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Vardio. Vardio to Rodri. That's Diaz. Diaz to Vardio. Vardio to Doku. Back to Vardio. That was Doku. We're approaching the half an hour mark of this game. It is still Monaco 1, City 1. City are kind of looking to change that. But if I'm honest with the way things have been going, actually I speak too soon, because now it's Foden. Tries to find Haaland, but it is intercepted. But what I was going to say was, like, the way it's going at the moment, if anyone's getting a goal, it's going to be Monaco here, because despite the fact City are getting majority of possession, it's going to be one counter down the middle, and City are not going to deal with it. But it's Vinders here on the edge of the box to prove me wrong. Vinders shoots, and he puts it just wide of the post. It's going to be a goal kick to Monaco. Oh man, this chair is seen better days, man. It really has seen better days.
Okay, so I can see that now. So there's the background for the chat, but is that actually, like, is there actually going to be anything in there? I'm so confused. Oh, that's why. But if I take the background off now, is that just gonna disable that? Okay. So it should be working now, I hope. Not too sure, but his Foden now takes touch inside, has to pass backwards because he ran himself down into a bit of a corridor. Now it's Diaz. Diaz to Stones. Stones back to Diaz. Diaz got Rodri inside, does find Rodri. He's going to go back out wide to Bernardo Silva now. So they have made their way up the pitch ever so slightly, but he's now went backwards to Stones. Stones plays a beautiful crossfield pass to O'Reilly, who finds Doku. Doku cuts inside, finds Rodri. Rodri for a chipped ball back post to Bernardo Silva, who heads that one across goal, and it's out for a Monaco goal kick because it went over Haaland's head, and Foden wasn't able to head that one back across goal. You know, it's getting better. We are starting to create more chances, but you know, it's still disappointing that we sort of gave up the lead that we had so easily and so quickly. But it was a good goal. It was a good goal from Monaco, so you can't really have too many complaints. It wasn't the end of the world. It was a very, very good finish, but at the same time, like, we made it way too easy for them to get themselves back into the game. Stones now to Vinders, who is hurried. And Stones is... because Haaland was offside, that's why. What are the scores around the grounds? Barcelona are 1-0 up. Ferran Torres at the Camp Nou. Villarreal are 1-0 up. Dortmund are 1-0 up. The only game we obviously care about right now is this City game, and unfortunately it is 1-1. After Tete's equaliser, after Haaland opened the scoring brilliantly. Both goals were good, to be fair. Both goals were good. But I want to see a second here for City, and I don't really care how we get it, whether it's a good goal, whether it's a scrappy goal. I just want us to get the lead back. We've got Rodri on the ball now. Rodri to Diaz. Diaz to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back to Vardio. Vardio across to Stones. Stones out to Bernardo Silva. Back to Stones. Now it's Foden. Vinders. Bernardo Silva. Diaz. Vinders tries to play around the corner to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva had his back turn, doesn't realise the pass is coming. Stones wins the header for the clearance, brings it down to Vinders. Vinders finds Foden. Foden finds Diaz. Diaz back out to Stones. Stones to Bernardo Silva, and you'll never guess who Bernardo Silva has passed to. It's Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz on the ball now, out to Vinders. Vinders into Haaland, but Foden takes it off of him. Foden makes his way into the box. Foden hits a beautiful shot off the inside of the crossbar and out. But now it's Doku still keeping the attack alive for City here. He goes out, back out of the box to O'Reilly. Now it's Rodri. Rodri takes a touch, spins, gets it to O'Reilly. He is dispossessed, and now Monaco can get it clear. Only as far as Diaz. Diaz turns with the ball now. Gets it to Vinders. Vinders to Stones, back to Vinders. It was a brilliant effort from Foden. It was very, very unlucky that that one's came back off the inside of the crossbar. But we've got O'Reilly. City is still coming here to try find the goal. Now it's Diaz. Diaz into Foden. Foden plays the 1-2 with Haaland, but the 2 from Haaland is a bit wayward and Foden can't get onto it. But City still have the ball with Stones. Rodri. O'Reilly loses the ball, but again, Monaco can't get it clear, and it's only as far as Diaz. Bernardo Silva. Now it's Rodri. O'Reilly. Foden. He can run at the Monaco back line, and he does. He clips the ball across. It is cleared. O'Reilly heads it back into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva out to Rodri. Hits it. Monaco goal kick.
That was a lot better from City. That was a lot better. We were suffocating Monaco there. Even when we were misplacing passes and they were getting interceptions, we weren't giving them enough time to play a clear pass out. And every single time, we were winning the second ball. Here's that Foden shot again. Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Very, very unlucky not to find the back of the net. Now it's Fati. Fati plays it to Balogun. Monaco still on the attack here. Balogun is played through. Is he going to get onto that? He does. He tries to get a cross in, and it hits off Vardio. It's still in play here, and Monaco do still have the ball. And they're being patient with it. They are being patient. They're not trying to rush anything here. As we approach halftime, we're 11 minutes out now from halftime. Well, under that really, it is like the 10 minutes. Plus probably like 2 minutes of added time. There's not been that many stoppages. Obviously, Van der Sar went off injured, but he wasn't down for too long. Monaco still have the ball here with Ansu Fati. No, they don't. But he has been fouled by Vinders, and it is going to be a free kick. And yeah, that's a foul. He pulls his shirt, and then his hands are all over him. It's, it's not good. Monaco with a set piece. So try work it into the box here. Excuse me, man. I'm actually shattered. They do cross it in. They do aim for Eric Dyer, but it goes all the way through to Gianluigi. And he's able to keep onto the ball. He gets it to Diaz. He then passes it to Rodri. Rodri to Vinders. Back to Diaz. Now it's Stones. Has some space to walk into, but it's quickly closed down by Ansu Fati. Now it's Vinders again. Diaz. Donnarumma. Rodri. Diaz again. That's Vinders. Rodri. Ruben Diaz. Now it's John Stones. He gets it back to Vinders. It takes a good touch. Now it's O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Foden. Foden. Was he fouled? Was he not? The ref says no. O'Reilly gets the shot. And it is now a free kick to Monaco because Nico O'Reilly has just shoved the Monaco player over. I'm not really too sure why he did that. But was Foden fouled here? Probably, but it was outside the box nonetheless. O'Reilly gets the shot off it. It's decently hit shot, but it's a comfortable save for the goalkeeper to make. And again, it is still Monaco 1, City 1. Yeah, he was definitely fouled, but it was outside the box, and we got a shot from it nonetheless. So he's never going to pull that one back. Never ever. That's probably a foul. Eric Dyer on the ball now. Looks to find a long ball. Does find a long ball, and I think Diaz is going to get onto that. He just about keeps it in play, but O'Reilly is there to track him down. Monaco still have the ball out on this left hand side. Now it's Eric Dyer. I don't know if you can hear that with the helicopter going over my gaff right now. Minamino warming up on the touchline here for Monaco. Donnarumma has just been booked. I'm not too sure what for, but I'm going to guess it's wasting time. Now here's Diaz. Vardio for some reason playing with his collar flicked up. I'm not too sure why, but he is. It is Vardy on the ball now. Now it's Diaz. Diaz to Rodri. Rodri to Stones. Stones to Bernardo Silva. Now Stones. Now Rodri. Now Vardio. Now Doku. Doku to Vardio. Now O'Reilly. Rodri. Diaz. Rodri. Vardio. O'Reilly. Doku. Vinders. Vardio. O'Reilly. Back to Vardio. He gets it to Diaz. Diaz has Foden. Foden to Bernardo Silva. Back to Foden. Finds Rodri. Now Vardio. O'Reilly. Rodri. O'Reilly. Now Rodri. Diaz. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. Vardio. Now it's Vinders. The game really, the sting really has been taken out of the game now, and I think it's probably the first half is going to end 1-1 here. So you're just playing it patiently, but a bit too patiently. Monaco are sitting deep. They're not committing men forward for the press. They're staying in shape, and they're waiting for City to make the mistake to hit on the counter attack, and that's exactly what Nico O'Reilly's just done. And Monaco have a chance to break here. Is that giving us a foul? No, City do have the ball back. It's Vinders. Diaz. O'Reilly was down, but he's back up. It looks to have just taken a whack to the eye. He is back up on his feet. It's Bernardo Silva now. Stones. Haaland tries to flick it around the corner to Vinders. It is intercepted, but now it's Rodri. Foden pokes it out to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva cuts inside. Still got the ball, Bernardo Silva. It's now Rodri. Rodri gets it to Vardio. Now it's Diaz. Foden. He is dispossessed, but he wins the ball straight back. Foden. Now he charges into the Monaco box. He gets surrounded, has to turn back, passes it to Stones. And now it's Bernardo Silva with a bit of space to try to get a cross in. Does. Falls for Vinders. Oh, it was a brilliant save by the keeper. And then Haaland just gets the rebound and is only able to get it into the side netting. But that was brilliant from Foden, Bernardo, and Vinders as well to take the shot first time. He probably could have took a touch. You know, it's not the best connection on it. It does come at him at a bit of an awkward angle. Gets a decent shot away. Haaland tries his best on the follow-up. Could he have hit that any better? No. It was a difficult angle, but Balogun holds it up. Monaco trying to build an attack here to try end off the half well, and they are in behind. Oh, nah, Tezi's pass goes out, and it's a City goal kick. I'm going to quickly check the scores around the ground. Around the grounds, Arsenal is still 1-0 up. PSG have equalised. Malulu has scored. Napoli have scored. Rasmus Højlund gets the goal for Napoli. But it is still 1-1 here. And that's the only score I'm really, truly too bothered about. We've got Vinders on the ball now. Now it's Stones. Stones to Rodri. Now it's Vardio. And now it's O'Reilly. Now it's Doku. Doku to O'Reilly, back to Doku. He finds Vardio. I'm still not too sure why he's got his collar flicked up. But it's Doku who plays it into the box for Foden, who passes it back out to O'Reilly, who can get a cross in here. It gets to Haaland. And that's it. And that is it. That's 2-1. It's a beautiful cross from O'Reilly. Haaland heads it in. It's a nice, beautifully weighted header into the bottom corner. The keeper's got absolutely no chance of saving that. And that is City's lead back restored just before halftime. Monaco 1, Manchester City 2. On the cusp of halftime, both goals for City scored by Erling Haaland. You see this here. Foden gets the ball out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly takes one touch, sets the cross. Haaland outjumps Salisu, heads it into that bottom left-hand corner. The keeper makes an attempt at it, but he can't get across quick enough. It's right in the bottom corner. That's a beautiful, beautiful header from Haaland. Salisu, who is never ever the tallest defender. I think he's like 5'11". Potentially maybe 6 foot. He's not even able to jump to compete with the ball for Haaland. Haaland obviously excellent in the air. He gets the second City goal just like he got the first one. That's Manchester City 2, Monaco 1 just before halftime here. And now it's just a sensible end to the first half now. As we approach the 45th minute, and I think we're going to get 2 or 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Got Salisu on the ball now. He goes long to find Fati, who gets it to Balogun, who drags Vardiol out of position. Now it's Diatta. He cuts inside. There's only 1 minute of added time actually. Tezzi in a very similar position to as he picked it up when he scored his goal. So you just have to keep compact here for this last minute of the first half. And it is a cross comes in. It is headed out by Vardio for a Monaco corner to end the first half. Still with the collar. I'm not like... He looks like a priest. Like he looks like a vicar. What's he doing? Someone explain that one to me, please. What's this Vardio nonsense? What's this Vardio collar nonsense going on? Oh, this one's so down at the back, so I can't flick it up and be like Vardio. But... got Monaco one last chance at the first half, and it is this corner, and I think that's to be taken by Tezzi, the goal scorer. It's whipped deep. Vardio heads it clear, only as far as the edge of the box. It's headed back in, but it's caught by Donnarumma, and that should be the end of the first half. Key word is should there. That should be the end of the first half. And it is. So, halftime score, Manchester City 2, Monaco 1. And not gonna lie, if I'm gonna be totally honest, right? If I'm going to be 2 seconds, let me just restart the clock. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, that was not the most convincing first half of football, especially defensively. There were things going on defensively in that game that I was not too happy with. But you know. We are coming into the second half. We are coming into halftime 2-1 up, which is really all that matters. But I will you know, we'll look at the things that I think are going wrong here. I think we're panicking a little bit when we get pressed, and we're not getting pressed often. Like it's not like they're playing with a high intense press, like so to speak. But when we do get pressed, players like Vardio, Rodri, O'Reilly have already made mistakes. You had obviously O'Reilly. He played Vardio under pressure at the start of the first half, where he then had to put the ball out for a throw-in. Donnarumma's rushed out for a pass, and then he's played that straight to a Monaco player. You know, Rodri tripped over the ball on the halfway line, was luckily able to recover us. You had Monaco straight through on goal. Like, other than their goal that was like, you know, is a very, very well hit strike from Tezzi, I just don't see them creating that many chances that aren't just due to us just switching off. You know, they've got fast players, they've got willing runners. I stated that at the start of the first half, right? Before the first 2 goals went in, before City's first and obviously Monaco's first. before they went in, I was saying that they've got willing runners like Diatta, Fati, Balogun that are gonna just wait until there's, City are gonna want a lot of the possession, right? Which means Diaz and Vardy are also going to step up, so there's more numbers to pass to. And even like out of possession, when Monaco were just taking their time passing it around the back, City are going to get impatient. Vinders, Rodri are going to step up to try press. Vardy or Diaz are going to be dragged out of position. And as soon as that one player is dragged out of position, bam, you've got Fati, you've got Diatta, you've got Balogun looking to make those runs in behind. And it's happened time and time again. Luckily, we haven't been caught out from one so far. But, there have been times in this game where, especially after we conceded the equaliser, where I thought we could go on to lose this game here. We need to score the next goal and we need to stamp our authority back onto this game and stop, with the lapses in concentration at the back that's allowing them to keep hitting us on these deadly counter-attacks, because they've got the players to punish you on the counter-attack. And I just do not want to get punished. We need to learn our lessons from that first half. Keep it a bit more, sensible around the back. Take fewer touches, take fewer risks around the back. The front three are the ones meant to be taking risks. You got Foden, Doku up there. Let them take the risks. Obviously Vardy took a risk with that beautiful pass for Haaland's first goal, but again, that's in the final third. We don't need to be taking risks at the back, especially against a team like Monaco. We just don't need to be doing that. Like, especially when we've just got the 1-goal lead, and we had a 1-goal lead earlier and we saw how quickly that disappeared. So we just need to start this, second half with a good spell of possession, keeping it simple around the back, no silly little passes, no silly little flicks, no silly little touches around the back, and when Monaco have the ball in possession, like around their back line, we just need to be patient at winning the ball back. No pushing out of our positions, Rodri, Vinders, Vardy, and just keep the shape, because they're not going to try play the killer ball while we're in shape, because it's just not going to happen. They're going to wait until someone steps up and then bam, looping ball over the top. So, that's my analysis from that first half anyway, and how we can improve from this second half. But let's see what Twitter's telling me. Let's see what Twitter's got for me. Now a lot of it is Haaland praise, and obviously that is where it should be going, because he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT, but that's a funny tweet. It says breaking Harvey Barnes' goal against Union. Is it Saint Galesi? Bro, I don't know. Do I look like I speak French? No. Means he and his father, John, are the first father and son to score for the same team in the Champions League history. Obviously, John Barnes is not Harvey Barnes' dad. Well, you'd hope he's not anyway. Who knows nowadays? But yeah, now they're showing the replay of that first Haaland goal, and that Josko Vardio pass is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. You look at where Haaland is, he spots the gap between Dyer and Salisu. Vardio spots it as well. Haaland makes the run. It's a perfectly weighted pass, and obviously that was us 1-0 up. you look at this Monaco goal again, and maybe he has too much space. Maybe one of Rodri or Vinders should be there to close it, but it's still an excellent finish regardless, and you can't take anything away from the finish. Yeah, maybe I think Rodri and Vinders are both sitting a bit too deep and allowing him a lot of space, but you know, you'll learn when my Foot Champ stream comes up on Saturday that that's exactly how I defend. So I like to allow people to take the long shots because obviously you got lower XG of scoring from there. So it's a beautiful goal. Obviously someone probably could have got out to close him down quicker, but you know, not that, you know, it's a moment of excellence from him. Again, good pass from Doku out to Foden. Foden back out to O'Reilly. Beautiful cross. Beautiful movement from Haaland to get goal side of Salisu. He can't even like compete with the Norwegian in the air, and it's a beautiful header into the bottom corner to regain the lead just before half time. You know, obviously my score prediction's out the window because I said 3-0, but we can make up for that by winning 4-1. That's basically 3-0. Same goal difference. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure to like and share the live if you haven't already, guys. By the way, I forgot to mention that at the start because, you know, the mind is always preoccupied on pointless stuff.
obviously all the same game, all the other games stayed the same score coming into halftime as well. So apparently Fatty completed 100% of his dribbles, won all of his ground duels, completed all of his crosses, completed all of his long balls, right? Which on paper, if you're not watching the game, sounds really good, yeah. But I don't think he was that good. I don't think he was that good at all. So that stat has just been posted to mislead people that are not watching this game. I can't lie, because he is not. He's not been great. Boom, 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 boom. Players now coming out for the second half. I wonder if there's going to be any changes, because I know John Stones likes to go off injured at halftime. I know that's his whole gimmick. So at the moment, I don't want to see any changes. I don't think we're comfortable enough in the game to make any changes so far. But if we can get another goal, sorry, excuse me. If we can get another goal and extend the lead, I wouldn't mind seeing Nico come on for Rodri. I don't think Rodri should be playing the full 90. Kovacic can stay as far away from the pitch as humanly possible. I do not want to see him enter the field of play. I also know that he will enter the field of play because Pep Guardiola will bring him on the pitch. But that doesn't mean I have to be happy about it, because I won't be. But in the chat, play bingo on what minute you think Kovacic is being brought on this pitch, because it's gonna happen. There's no way it doesn't happen. But it looks like we're gonna have the same team lined up as we did in the first half, and Josko Vardio still has his collars. I can't be the only one seeing this, man. I'm gonna have to tweet that out, because I can't be the only one. I'm gonna quickly just type his name into Twitter. I can't be the only one that's seeing this. I actually might be, you know. I'm the only one that seems to be making a comment on it. Like, am I just deeping it too much? Is that the in thing now? Do I need to be doing that? Do I need to be wearing my collar like that? Who knows, man? Who knows? Does the chat thing on here like line up to the one that? Yeah. No, that's cool. Boom. So second half. Oh, second half's underway, and I haven't even done the timer. That's not good. 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 Doku's already found his way down. Well, wait for the timer on the screen to come up. So let's just. I'm gonna get it in ahead by a second. There we go. Yeah, we're about there. Let me just, yeah. We should be there now. Yeah. It should be. That was, you know, that's what I get for not paying attention. There we go. When was at the timer off centered, and I'm OCD like that, where that actually would have triggered me, even though I'm not even looking at the scoreboard
like on the stream. I'm looking at on the screen, but you know how it gets. You know how it gets. Here's Vinders. He gets it to Rodri. Rodri to Stones. Stones now to Rodri. Now it's Diaz. Now it's Vardio, who I think's now flicked his collar down. Now it's Doku in behind, played in behind by O'Reilly. Doku tries to get the pass off to Haaland, but he is brought down. Is that a goal kick? I think that's a goal kick. It should be a corner, but I think he's. Oh, actually no, there might have been a little touch there off his shin. Is that Golovin? I'm gonna guess that's Golovin. That looked like the Golovin. I don't know if that is Golovin, but it looked like him. Yeah, it was a goal kick. Monaco can now try build from the back here. Keepers went long to Balogun. Finds. Monaco just keeping possession here, but City aren't trying to commit too many players to press. We're still keeping our shape, and now they've had to pass backwards. This is exactly what I mean. If we don't commit too many people to the press, we keep everybody in shape. They're just going to go backwards because they don't want to try play through us. They just want to hit us on the counter when we make mistakes and we overcommit players out of position. So everyone stays compact. They're just going to keep going backwards and backwards and backwards. And then that's when they're going to, have a lack of sort of focus, if you will, and give up possession. Foden wins the header. Now it's Haaland. Diaz with the high foot. Diaz could be in trouble here. Diaz could very much be in trouble here. Because that was a very, very high foot. Very high foot. And he doesn't even get any of the ball. Eric Dyer has now kicked the ball at... Is that Vardio who's on the floor? Or is that Diaz? Someone's on the floor, rolling around on the floor. Oh, it's Foden. Because Dyer blasted the ball at him. Yeah, Dyer tried to take a quick free kick and pelted it straight at Foden. Now here's O'Reilly. Takes a decent touch inside. Now it's Foden. Foden goes for the long pass, but it is in, it is blocked. But City still have the ball here. Bernardo Silva wins as a throw-in. Foden. Bernardo Silva. Foden. He gives away possession here, but it's won back by Rodri. And he wins a free kick. O'Reilly. Now to Rodri. Rodri to Diaz. What they do, put this up here. Hopefully this works. That should work. Yeah. So you have a throw in. It's Vinders now. He finds Bernardo Silva. He's dispossessed. Diaz now. Rodri. Haaland. Foden. Foden out wide to Doku. Can he bring this one down? He does. He's got time and space to face up the defender. Does. Whips a cross in. It's deflected and into the keeper's hands. It's a good cross from Doku, to be fair, but it was going straight to O'Reilly. But yeah, Monaco player does well to get across. Rodri chasing down a loose ball. Now it's O'Reilly. Rodri. Vinders. Still Vinders. Now Bernardo Silva. He plays it to Stones. Stones gets the cross in. It's cleared by Eric Dyer. Now it's Rodri. Diaz. O'Reilly. Still O'Reilly. He gets it to Doku. Doku plays a loose pass to Vardio and it's intercepted by Balogun, who's got the beating of Vardio and he's got space to run into now. He is alone. He tries to get the pass across to Ansu Fati, who's coming across, and is intercepted by John Stones, and City can come forward now with Tiani Reinders. Reinders with a nice little Ronaldo chop inside, and he gets it out back outside to Bernardo Silva, who finds Foden in the middle, who tries to slip Vinders in, who wins the ball Vinders, and his crosses straight into the goalkeeper's arms. He was looking for Haaland back post, but the goalkeeper does well to read it, comes out, claims it, makes it his own, keeps hold of it. It's a job well done for him, really. He's just put the ball straight out for a City throw-in now, out on the left-hand side. Now it's Vardio. Rodri. Rodri's pass is intercepted. He goes to win it back, doesn't. Now it's Fati. He takes a loose touch, but he still gets around Vinders. Balogun now to Fati. Balogun's just been wrestled to the floor in the middle of the pitch by Vardio. But Monaco is still on the attack here, and the cross has been deflected for a corner. Again, that was just little stupid mistakes and letting, them capitalise on them. Stupid individual mistakes there. He's got to deal with this corner now and potentially counter-attack from it. Eric Dyer's making his way into the box. And if there's anyone I don't want to score tonight, it's Eric Dyer. Because I don't know if I could deal with my team conceding to Eric Dyer in 2025. That's dark. That's a dark prospect. And I don't know if that's something I'm prepared to deal with this evening. It's a short corner. The cross will eventually come in, and it finds Balogun back post, and it is, I think, saved by Donnarumma. Or did that hit off the side net? I think that was a save. The cross does eventually come in. Yeah, Balogun just mishits it. Vardio doesn't have a Scooby where Balogun is, but Balogun can't make good enough connection on the ball, and it goes out for a goal kick. Stones has got his hand up for offside, but I don't actually think that was offside. That was Vardio. Foden. Ake's now warming up as he jogs back to the bench. Savinho's out there as well, along with Nunez. I think Gonzalez was out there as well. Rodri does go down, but I think it's just because he had his foot trodden on and nothing else more serious than that. Rodri is now on the ball, moving freely. He gets it to Foden. Foden back to Rodri. And Rodri gets it out to Ruben Diaz, who gets it to Stones. Back to Diaz again. Oh, it's Rodri. Ruben Diaz. Stones. Stones comes inside now. Back to Rodri, who's got O'Reilly running through. Takes a good touch. And now O'Reilly to Doku. Doku can cut inside and get it back to O'Reilly, who takes a heavy touch. Tries to get the cross back into the box, and it is put out by Eric Dyer for a corner, I do believe. Yeah, it was by Dyer. I didn't know if the goalkeeper palmed out or not, but it was Dyer that headed it out for the corner. Have it across the area. That's fine. Got Reinders on the corner now. He whips it in. It's deep to Haaland, but it's headed clear. Only as far as Bernardo Silva, who cuts back and gets it to Foden. This is Foden's shooting range, but he plays it to Rodri. Rodri's dispossessed. But Rodri comes across and commits a professional foul to break up the counter-attack. And I do now think he should be subbed off, if I'm honest. I do think now it's time for Gonzalez to come on. He was able, the recovery pace was there. The foul wasn't necessary, but it was obviously good to break it up. Now we've got an issue because a long ball's been found for Diatta in behind, but luckily his touch and shot wasn't great, and it's straight into the hands of Donnarumma, and City have the ball back. But we need to again switch on and look for these runs over our wide defenders. Vardio and Stones need to be looking for these runs of these wide, tricky players, these fast players over their shoulder, or else they're going to get in positions like Diatta did just then. But luckily, his end product wasn't good enough, and Donnarumma was able to deal with that easily. But, that could have easily been 2-2 there, and it was way too easy. Now it's Rodri. Reinders. Reinders out to Doku. Can Doku keep this one in? He can. He cuts inside, gets it to Foden on the edge of the box, who takes one touch, shoots. It is blocked, and now Monaco can come the other way with Ansu Fati. Tezi. It's Fati again. He's brought down by Reinders, and it is going to be called back for the foul. Balogun played in behind. He has been tracked by Vardio, but it is back to Fati. Big save by Donnarumma. Big save, and it's out for a corner by Diaz. So very good save by Donnarumma. He gets down very quickly. But I still think we need to bring Gonzalez on now, because I think he is coming on, because Rodri is looking tired and the mistakes are starting to creep in here. Tezio stands over the corner. Savinho looks to be coming on as well, which I'm not really too happy about, because he is then just going to feed into the problem that we're having already of just silly, reckless mistakes, of being careless on the ball. The corner comes into Eric Dyer. It just bounces off his head, but it's still with Ansu Fati. He's getting closed down by Vardio and Bernardo Silva. The secondary cross is going to come in. Doku wins it back briefly, and now it's Rodri battling for it. Well on a booking and in our box. Again, just back off. Tezi again looks to line up a shot, but the pass into the box is intercepted by Haaland. And the resulting shot from, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that was that ran onto that there. It is blazed over, and we now should be able to make our substitutions, which I'm going to guess is going to be Savinho for Doku and Nico for Rodri. No, it is Savinho for O'Reilly and Rodri for Gonzalez. So the Gonzalez sub I'm happy with. Obviously, I called for that to happen. Rodri shouldn't be playing 90 minutes. Oh, it was Doku. What? I could have swore that said 33. But no, yeah, it is Doku for Savinho and Rodri for Nico. So yeah, I called both of those subs, actually. I don't know why I thought that said Gonzalez. Man, I need my eyes checking, because I don't know how 11 looked like 33 on that screen. But yeah, hopefully Savinho can impress. I don't know if I'm exactly optimistic with that from the form that he's been in as of recent. I think he's just trying too hard to make an impression, and he just keeps making silly choices. But now it's Bernardo Silva who gets it inside to Reinders, who now gets it to Stones, who's got space to run into. He's got Foden ahead of him, but he gets it to O'Reilly. You've got Savinho ahead of him as well. Now Vardio. Vardio to Diaz. Now it's O'Reilly. Now it's not O'Reilly. It was Nico, but it was Gonzalez who played it to O'Reilly. Oh man. We're just over the hour mark now. It's still Monaco 1, City 2. But we do not look comfortable. Pep is also wearing a suit and tie. Well, no, just a suit even. Not a tie. I meant a shirt and blazer is what I was meant to say. Don't really see that too often, do you? It's not very good. It's not a very nice shirt either, if I'm honest. But as I'm speaking, Monaco come forward. We're back to building up around the back again, trying to force an opening here. Dyer. Savinho wins the ball high up the pitch and he is fouled. I don't know if that's going to be it is a free kick. I just didn't know if that was going to be a card or not, and it looks to be one. I just completely missed the thing I was trying to click on. Yeah, there we are. Diaz now. This is Vardio. That's a stupid pass, but luckily we still have possession. Now it's Stones. Vinders, who I believe was fouled, and it is going to be given as a foul. You know, Monaco making a change now. I think that's Fati coming off. The chat is still not working, man. I don't think. I don't know. Yes, I don't think it's still not working. Yeah, we've got Fati off for Dumbo now. I don't know too much about him, but based on how they build up their attacks, I can only imagine he's absolutely rapid, and those are fresh legs as well, so that is definitely something to keep an eye on. Stodes now is Viders. He's closed down quickly. Now Monaco have the ball back. Stones heads it back, and that is Donnarumma's to pick up if he so chooses. Nunes is now ready, and I'm going to guess he's going to come on for Stones. Vardio now on the ball. Now it's Nico. Finds Foden, who then passes it back to Gianluigi Donnarumma. I got Diaz on the ball now. Stones. Gonzalez. Vardio. O'Reilly. Vardio. Back out to Diaz. Now it's Foden. Vinders. Diaz. Gonzalez. Vinders. Gonzalez again back to Vinders. He goes back to Stones. Now goes back to Diaz even, who then finds Stones, who finds Foden, who then finds Gonzalez, who gets it straight to O'Reilly, who's got players breaking ahead of him. He gets it out wide to Savinho. Savinho for the first touch pass into Bernardo Silva, who takes a heavy touch. But it's won back by Vardio. And now it's Savinho again, back to Vardio, who then finds Foden, who gets it to Reinders. Now it's Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva with time and space to run into the box. Shot blocked, but it's won back by Gonzalez. And now it's Reinders. He finds Stones. Stones goes to cross it, but then he plays it short to Bernardo Silva, who's back to Reinders. Gonzalez now. Back out to Stones, who can cross this one if he so please. No, he doesn't. Back to again Gonzalez on the edge of the box. Now Foden. You must say, I think City are now really just trying to sort of see the game out, but we've still got a large chunk of the game left, so I won't mind us just getting a second goal and just reassuring this lead, because again, there still has been individual mistakes and lapses in concentration which have allowed Monaco to get in behind, and they have dangerous attacking players up there. Vardio. Diaz. Stones. Foden. Time and space to run him inside. Gets it to Gonzalez. Now it's Vardio. Now it's O'Reilly. Out to Savinho. Beats his first man. Then back to Gonzalez. Now it's Reinders. Gonzalez. Reinders. Now it's Foden, who takes one touch, tries to find Haaland, but it's intercepted by Eric Dyer. Diaz wins the ball back high up the pitch. Now it's Reinders. Silva. Foden. Gonzalez. Bernardo Silva. Vardio. Savinho. Gonzalez. Diaz. Foden. Vardio. Diaz. Yeah, we're really just trying to see this game out now, which, like I just said, I don't know if it's the right choice. I think we should still be trying to just extend our lead just by the extra goal. Foden now wins the ball back. Now it's O'Reilly. Back to Foden. O'Reilly again. Foden. Diaz. Nico. Reinders. Now Vardio. Vardio to Savinho. Savinho to Reinders. Reinders to Bernardo Silva. Now it's Nico. Diaz. Nico. Reinders. Bernardo Silva. Stones tries to cut it back. He goes back to Gonzalez, who then finds Reinders. See that Gonzalez is still. He just looks as sharp, like as sort of. He's reading the game very similar to Rodri, but he just looks a bit more sharp fitness-wise, and obviously like, you know, like sort of energy-wise as well with him just coming on the pitch. Because Rodri, I still just don't believe is up to full like match fitness and sort of sharpness, which is obviously to be expected. Monaco now have the ball on the edge of the City box. Bernardo Silva. No, he's dispossessed now. Monaco are getting a decent amount of possession here. And they've pushed men forward. There is Eric Dyer picking up the ball in the City half. Diatta now. Plays one round the corner. Pass goes out. Tezzy again to shoot from range. Tries to pull off to recreate the goal. They got the equaliser the first time round, but this time this one just blazes all the way over the bar and out for a goal kick for City. What are the scores around there? Stones has now just come off for Nunes, like I thought he would as soon as I saw Nunes getting ready to come up. Sporting did equalise Suarez from a penalty, so it's now 1-1 between their game with Napoli. Juventus pulled 2 goals back, so they now lead 2-1 to Villarreal. Bilbao did score, but it was to make it 2-1 after Dortmund doubled their lead, and PSV and Leverkusen is 1-1. Barca still drawing, Arsenal still winning. Donnarumma takes the goal kick. Savinio now. O'Reilly. Goes long to Foden, who heads it round the corner to Savinio, and he's got space to run into here. He's got Haaland arriving in the box. Haaland's telling him to pass it to Reinders, which he does. Reinders takes a beautiful touch, hits the post. He probably could have squared it to Haaland there, but it was a beautiful little scoop turn. It's like scoop touch, and he was very unlucky with the shot, just like Foden was earlier. But yeah, the pass was on to Haaland. Haaland could have got his hat-trick there. Gonzalez now. Reinders. I think Reinders has been good this game though. I think he's looked a lot better than some of his past performances, especially with his first touch. He's not just taking a loose first touch every single time now, and some of his passing, he's completed a few more passes. So he's looking more comfortable. That's a beautiful turn from Foden. He gets it to Bernardo Silva, and then he chips it into Reinders, who takes a good touch to keep it on, but his second touch, there was no one to run onto it other than a Monaco player. But Nico's got the ball now. Now it's Haaland to shoot from distance, and he forces a save from the keeper, and it will now be a City corner. It's a good strike. It bobbles a little bit, and yeah, it's a good save. If that doesn't bobble, it's a routine save from the keeper, but it takes a sort of touch off Salisu's leg. Like, it hits the ground, and then he just hits the crossbar. He absolutely sells Dyer and Salisu with that touch, but he's unlucky. He can't keep the shot down. It hits the post. But we've got the City corner now to be taken by Phil Foden. Got O'Reilly in the box. Foden falls to Reinders at the edge of the box, who hits it and hits it wide. That'll be a Monaco goal kick. Once again, Foden's corners aren't good. We don't have a good corner taker. Even like De Bruyne wasn't that good at taking corners. I do not remember the last time City had a player that like consistently took good corners. Gonzalez wins the ball back high up, but it's straight back to Monaco. Salisu plays a long pass out to Dumbo, but he's dispossessed by Bernardo Silva, and we win the ball back. It's Gonzalez now. Vardiol. Diaz. Has Reinders. Reinders to Gonzalez, who plays an overhit pass to Foden, and it's straight to Monaco, who are now trying to sustain some possession around the back. It's one back by Nico again, and that's a beautiful turn. But he's deemed to have committed a foul on Tezzy by whacking him in the face as he's turned there. I'm not too sure if I think that is a foul, or if I think he's just made a meal of that because he's been absolutely sent to the shops. We got 15 minutes left to play here. Still Monaco 1, City 2. There hasn't been many stoppages in the second half either, so as of right now, I can't see there being much added time. And then again, you never know. It's a close game, so they'll probably add 8 minutes on. That's usually how it goes in the Premier League and Champions League. If the games there's only a 1 goal in it or they're drawing, they'll add a considerable amount of time on just to make it interesting. Now it's Savinho, O'Reilly, Vardio, Foden takes a good touch. Now inside to Gonzalez, who takes an even better touch. And now it's Nunes. Well, I think this might be his first touch of the ball, you know. He gets it to Vinders. Vinders got space to run into. He chops it back to Nunes, who gets it straight to Gonzalez, who gets it back to Nunes. Nunes out to Bernardo. Now it's Vinders. Now it's Bernardo Silva. Vinders. Nico. Nunes. Vinders. Gonzalez again. Vardio. Out to O'Reilly. Now it's Gonzalez again. Oh, not Gonzalez, even Vardiol again. Now it's Nunes. Nunes on the overlap does a 1-2 with Bernardo Silva. He then plays it back to Vinders. Gonzalez. Vinders. Vardio. Tries to swing one out wide to Savinho, but it goes straight all the way through to the Monaco keeper. That wasn't meant to happen. That was also meant to be up as well. No, that's all fine. That's all cool. Scores are still all the same. Approaching the last 11 minutes or so of this game. We've got 2 more substitutions here for Monaco. So Vinders, Foden, Vardio, O'Reilly, Vinders, Foden. Now through to Vinders, who takes a good first touch and finds Haaland, but that's a beautiful, beautiful sliding challenge from Eric Dyer to prevent it getting to the Norwegian, who would have surely got his hat-trick from that range. Still don't really, I've never really understood Eric Dyer's trim. Like, he's always had the same trim, and I've still to this day, it just baffles me. I don't really know what's going through his head when he goes to the barbers. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've got Vinders standing over the corner now. Headed in by Gonzalez. He knocks it down. It's now cleared. Only as far as Bernardo Silva, who tries to loop one in first time, and it just goes straight through to the keeper. And now Monaco tried to break quickly, while City still aren't completely in shape. It's Eric Dyer. Diatta's been able to... I was about to say he's found some space in behind O'Reilly there, but he's not able to bring the pass down, and it goes out for a City throw-in. The Monaco changes are coming up now. We've got Balogun coming off for Balogun, Salisu and Teze coming off for Cabral, Mika, and I don't know who the third one is because it's not popped up and I can't see him. I'm not really too sure who the third player coming on is. If it would show me or tell me, that would be great. Am I going to see who this third... They still haven't told me who the third player covered out is. Am I able to get... Because I don't know who that is off face value. I'm going to need to see the back of his shirt there. But O'Reilly over the throw-in now for City. Not really many options. I think he's going to have to try go long to Haaland for him to bring this one down, which he does. And Savinho pounces on it, and now it's Haaland running in. He's bearing down on Eric Dyer. He tries to cut it back to Savinho, who's not able to pick that one up, but O'Reilly wins it back. And now it's Gonzalez, gets it back to Diaz. Now it's Nunez. Nunez out wide to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva out to Vinders, who tries to play the 1-2. Bernardo Silva, but is intercepted by Eric Dyer. Still life in Monaco here. There is definitely still some life in them here. Well, that's a good tackle by Vardy and puts it out for a Monaco corner. What's the score saying? Are they still... No, Napoli have scored again. It's Rasmus Højlund has got his brace. They're now 2-1 up to Sporting. Tezzy with a corner, and it's headed clear by Haaland. Monaco still do have the ball though. Nunez win. No, O'Reilly Vinders won it back, but it's been deemed as a foul. So Monaco are going to get a free kick. Oof. Is it a foul by Gonzalez? No, it was Vine. No way. Let's see that again. It's a good header clear by Gonzalez, to be fair, but I don't think that was a free kick. I didn't see a foul in there at all. Monaco with a free kick. It's hooked in to Eric Dyer, and it's straight at Donnarumma, who could take his time with this one. Eric Dyer goes down holding his face. Does that mean he's been hit in the face, or does the... Ooh, he might have just got Nico's boot in the face there. He does... VAR might look at that, you know. We could be in some trouble here. Are VAR checking that? Bro, this is why I hate watching football without the commentary, bro. I ain't got a clue. Yeah, VAR checking that. That could actually be given as a penalty. Well, I don't know if he makes enough contact with him. I'm not really too sure what happened there. I know what happened, but I'm not too sure what was really going on in the box there. If I'm honest, bro. If I'm being completely real. I wonder if Bernardo and Eric Dyer are communicating in English or Portuguese here. Really makes you think. Really does make you think. VAR is still checking this. Eric Dyer has not wiped the grass off his forehead. Is he going over to the screen? He is going over to the screen. Oh. This is nervy. This is nervy. Not a fan of this whatsoever. Especially this late on. Donnarumma, stop arguing with people now. Oh. That's a damning still. It's going off here, and Donnarumma's already been booked. Which I don't like. 2 red cards. And is that to Staff? I'm so baffled. Bro, what's just happened? I'm so confused. Everything that's just happened in the last 5 minutes, I have, like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just seeing incidents unfold in front of me, and I don't get it. I don't know what's, like, I'm not seeing what's going on. Bernardo's just been booked. Is he not made his decision yet? So is he going back to the screen? Is it just like kicked off on the pitch and he's had to... Bro, what is this? Why do we not make it simple for ourselves? He's going to give that as a penalty. This is exactly what I meant when I said that we needed to add to our lead. Actually, is there even any contact with Eric Dyer's head? Never mind. It comes off Gonzalez's foot first. Yeah, Gonzalez gets a touch on that. Yeah, Gonzalez gets a touch on that, and then Eric Dyer headbutts Gonzalez's foot. I'm still trying to work out from whose bench who's been sent off. I don't think that's a penalty, but I think he might give it, you know. I think that comes off Gonzalez first. He has pointed to the spot. He has pointed to the spot. Oh, come on, GG. Come on, GG. I don't know, man. I honestly do not know. Come on, GG. So Bernardo's got a yellow card, which I knew that one. It's not going to tell me which staff members have been shown a red card. But here's Donnarumma. Come on. He's against Eric Dyer, who did score that penalty to win England the penalty shootout against Colombia. No, this is the one guy I said I didn't want to score. Please. Come on, Donnarumma. Come on, I back you. I back you. This isn't Edison anymore. We're not in Edison territory anymore. Come on, GG. Show why you're the best keeper in the world. No, Eric Dyer scored 2-2. Bro, I don't even know how to react to that, bro. I don't even think that's a penalty. And now I've just had to watch Eric Dyer, like, score against... Bro, Eric Dyer has just scored against my club in 2025. What do I do about that? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that's a penalty. Bro, I'm being so real. I don't think that's a penalty. Oh, fuck sake, man. PSG have scored again. Gonzalo Ramos in the 90th minute. Villarreal have equalised. Come on, Haaland. Foden. Nunes. Bernardo Silva. Come on, City. 7 minutes added on. Gonzalez. Still with the ball. Out to Bernardo Silva. This 7 minutes is huge. Gonzalez wins the ball. It's clumsily, but he wins it nonetheless. Foden takes the touch and he takes it away from himself and Bernardo Silva. This is a nervy last 6 minutes. Now it's Donnarumma. O'Reilly. Vardio. Gonzalez. Diaz. Nunes. Vinders now. Bernardo Silva. Inside to Foden. Back out to Bernardo Silva. Inside to Gonzalez, who gets out to Bernardo Silva. No. Foden's given away a free kick now. Yeah, this is dark. This has got really dark really quickly. Arsenal have doubled their lead. Bukayo Saka has scored. This is dark. Nunes, please don't do anything silly. Nunes has already done some daft. Oh, this is dark. It's a corner. Donnarumma's going mental, and as he should be, because that was... And they've taken the corner quickly. City have not been able to regroup. Foden out defending the wide position, and it's now went out for a goal kick. Donnarumma wants to take it quickly, but you've got nobody in position. This is dark. This is dark. Savinho's just taken a disgraceful touch. I actually can't be bothered to watch Savinho. Why has he done that? Why? 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 And he's been booked as well. I actually can't be bothered, man. I actually really liked Savinho last season, but every time I've watched him this season, he's actually just frustrated me to no end. That's a terrible touch from Nunes, but it goes out for a City throw-in. This is dark. Bernardo Silva. Vinders. Diaz. Vinders. Gonzalez. Foden on the half turn. Free kick, surely. Yeah, we've got a free kick. I thought we're now reached about to reach a 5th minute of added time. 2 minutes left. Brilliant run by Foden. Brilliant turn, and yeah, it's a foul. This is dark, man. This is actually a City performance from last season, and I called it. I called it at many points during this game. I called it, bro. I'm a visionary. They don't call me Nathaniel Knows Ball for no reason. I'm a visionary, man. Foden over the free kick. Foden Vinders over the free kick. He goes short to Bernardo Silva, who whips the cross in for Gonzalez, but it is cleared. Monaco try to press up the pitch, which they could do here. Vardio's has been taken out of the game. Savinho needs to be careful because he's rushing back, but he's on a yellow card. Monaco have another free kick now. This is dark, man. This is real dark. This is not making for enjoying viewing. This is not enjoying viewing, enjoyable viewing whatsoever. What is this? What am I watching? And is that Monaco keep it in? Oh. They've taken it to the corner. They just want to see out the draw. They're happy with the draw. Gonzalez. Nunes. What just happened on my screen there? Nunes. Vinders. Out to Haaland. We've got one last opportunity here with Savinho. He's got Bernardo Silva to his right. Bernardo keeps charging. He cuts inside. He tries to find Foden. He's closed down quickly. He's got Gonzalez there. Gonzalez to O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Vardiol. Vardiol cuts inside. Finds Gonzalez again. Now it's O'Reilly. Now it's Vardiol again. O'Reilly. Vardiol. Vardiol. Still Vardiol. Oh, it's a good block. Gonzalez. Vardiol. City throw-in. Where's that game? That's game. That's the game there. And City 2, Monaco 2. And if I'm honest, I'm not happy with that. I'm really, really not happy with how that game went. But I will see you. My next stream is Saturday, where I'm going to be streaming Foot Champions. And then I'll be back again for the watch-along of Brentford versus Manchester City in the Premier League. So thanks for tuning in for this one, guys. And I hope you enjoyed. Let's